Now we would be discussing about the skills and the competence which is required for setting up a boutique. We are all aware boutique is something which is a very sought after bit for all human beings today, because everybody wants to look very smart and beautiful and presentable in the world. Can anyone and everyone open a boutique? No, it is not that anyone and everyone can open a boutique. For opening up of a boutique, it is very important that you should have some essential skills and competences. For example, you should be very good at drawing. You shall be able to illustrate the ideas that you have in your mind on a piece of paper, so that these ideas could ultimately be developed in the form of the garments which could be presented to the world. We should understand that we have a thorough knowledge of the fabrics. What are the fabrics? What are the different type of the materials which are available in the market? Where are all these materials available in the market? Will one particular type of a fabric match another type of the fabric, or will it not match the other type of a fabric? Is a very essential and a basic knowledge which is required to start up a boutique. Also, at the same time, it is important for us to understand what is the type of machinery that you would require to set up a boutique. It is not that I am a good illustrator, I can draw well, that I shall be able to run a very good boutique, until and unless I have a proper know-how of the machines, the implements, equipments and the materials which are required to start up a boutique. Also, it is important that you shall be independently able to handle a design assignment which could be executed in the form of the production. It is not that you've designed, you have the fabric knowledge with you. If you are only dependent upon your masters and your karigars to give you the product, the boutique cannot be a sure shot success. For a boutique to be a sure shot success, it is important that you yourself shall be very comfortable and confident about the production process as well. You should be very good and capable of planning a very safe and very economical production process, because that is where you earn. You may spend thousands of rupees to ultimately produce a garment which is a beautiful garment, but what will you earn end of the day? If you have to earn end of the day, you shall be able to plan safe and economical production process, so that you can end up earning money. You shall also be capable of supervising people, because you open up a boutique, you cannot do anything and everything yourself. You will be dependent upon your employees. You have many employees who are working for you. You will have a master ji, you will have a lot of karigars who will work for you, or you will also have embroidery artisans who are working for you. So you shall be able to supervise them and tell them the difference between what is right and what is wrong, and what is that you are expecting your product to be like. It is also important that you should have a thorough knowledge of the patterns, because when we are talking boutique today, we are talking of boutique in terms of fashion and in terms of garments. And garment is one thing which is a visible appeal of an individual. There is a very common saying which says clothing makes a man. So if somebody is coming to your boutique, any and everybody is coming to your boutique to look more presentable, to look very beautiful, and in order to make them look beautiful, you should have a thorough knowledge of making the patterns. Anybody who's fat would want to come to your boutique with a dream that I should look very slim and beautiful and should have a model-like figure. The figure cannot change, but your clothing perhaps can make a person look very beautiful. Also, along with understanding what is pattern, how do you do a pattern, you should also be very much aware of the cutting techniques. If you do not cut the fabric in the right manner, and also in the not in the right direction the prints should be, you will end up spoiling the fabric, and you will also end up putting the wrong prints at the wrong place, which will ultimately spoil the name of your boutique. So many skills we require when we are working on a product. It's important we shall be able to implement, have a basic understanding of printing techniques, gluing techniques, sticking techniques, painting techniques, applique techniques, which are all surface ornamentation techniques. If you have this knowledge of surface ornamentation technique, your basic garment will become an instrumental and a very beautiful piece of clothing that everybody will look forward to. So these are a few basic essentials, the few skills that are required in a person when a person starts a boutique. After understanding what is a boutique, it is very important for us to understand what are the different types of boutiques. We've already had a basic understanding. So when I talk about different types of boutiques, the boutiques could be of varied types. For example, it could be a retail boutique. When I say a retail boutique, what do I mean by a retail boutique? By that I mean any particular place where you would try and get different brands, put them under one roof and sell for the people. It's not essential that you're doing the products at your own level. You're just purchasing them, putting them under one roof and then selling them. This is what is called as a retail boutique, and it's a sure shot business. Also at the same time, there's another type of a boutique which is called as bespoke clothing boutique. Now, what is this bespoke clothing boutique? India has been very famous for its bespoke clothing ever since ages, because it has been the country of Rajas and Maharajas. All these people have always been very fond of getting their clothes stitched directly from the tailors. And this particular technique, over the period of time, with development, with a lot of innovations and interventions that have taken in the field of design, have converted into a bespoke clothing field. Today, bespoke clothing boutique is one of the most sought after, because every human being doesn't have a similar figure. Some would be fat, some would be thin, some would be broad, and everybody wants to look pretty and would want to get the garment which is just of their size and is not available in ready to wear clothing range. That is where bespoke clothing sells very well. And a very beautiful example of a bespoke clothing boutique is, for example, any boutique which does a lot of evening gowns, which does a lot of wedding collection and special occasion collections also. We also have another type of a boutique which is called as a boutique for children, which could be a boutique under one roof. It could have clothes for children, it could have accessories for children, it could have footwear for children. So, anything and everything which is related to children could be available under one roof under a children's boutique. We can also have a boutique for women, which is most common in India these days. Anywhere and everywhere, any city you go today, you will find hundreds of boutiques selling women's wear. Most sure shot selling business, and this is one business which can do very well in remote villages as well. After a boutique for the women, we also have another type of a boutique which is called as boutique for men's. Under a boutique for men, we generally tend to get a lot of materials like tailored shirts, tailored trousers for men. We can also get tailored suits for men. We could get polos, we could get tees, we could get shorts, we could get dungarees. So, these are the different product ranges which men are very comfortable with, could be available under the boutique for men. This boutique for men, which could be both for mature men as well as for the youth, could be a combination of a bespoke boutique as well as a retail boutique, because something like this rarely sells. Still, there is a lot of percentage of men who would want to get their shirts stitched. So, if you have a setup where you already have the retail product with you and you also have your tailor and you also have your pattern master sitting with you and is making a product for your men client, it is going to be a sure shot business. And another type of a boutique that one can open, which sells best in metropolis or in smaller cities or towns, or in any town which is historically connected to the world, is a boutique that deals in selling of souvenirs and items. For example, if you talk about a small town Anandpur, or you talk about Kiratpur with a big heritage center like Virasat-e-Khalsa which has come up these days, if a boutique which sells souvenirs or which sells any religious items comes up in that area, it will sell very well, and perhaps this is very untouched field and which could be touched and it can do very well. After understanding what is a boutique, what are the different type of boutiques, what are the skills and competencies which are required for setting up of a boutique, the most important factor, and the most important factor is the finance factor. Is it that we can start a boutique only with a large amount of the money? No, this is a myth. This is a misconception. Starting a boutique always doesn't require a lot of money. You just need a set of customers who have a distinct specific taste, who are not satisfied buying from the retail shops anything which is available by a ready-made product of different sizes. So, that is where lies the origin or the possible birth of a boutique. And the moment you have a client like that, you can always start a boutique next door with even a single machine. You have a single machine, you have a table, you have a iron, you can start up with your boutique, because you will be able to give your client something which is very different. An amount of money somewhere around 25,000 rupees to begin with is a good enough amount to start up a boutique. And for this type of a finance also, we can look up to different agencies who are providing it. They can provide even the smallest of the finance to the biggest of the finance, starting from 25,000 rupees to 25 lakh rupees of the money which could be provided. Boutique could also be of medium scale, it could also be of the large scale, depending upon the amount of budget that is required, the vicinity in which we are opening, the amount of finance that is involved in making up or setting up of the boutique can vary. But a successful boutique can just start from a roof in our house which is covered with basic tins, a single needle lock stitch machine, an ironing table, a table to cut the fabric, and that's how we can start with a boutique with a small amount of money.